Okay, my friends, it is time for a new session of the Final Fantasy X Masters mod. I was up pretty late last night playing through some more. It's got pretty addictive at this stage. I mean, it's always addictive. It's Final Fantasy X. But especially like making progress through the first Dark Aeons and stuff, it's always such an engaging part of the post-game for me that I'm really invested at the moment, and I'm trying my best to get to the end of this experience. And we have some really serious and really difficult bosses to deal with along the way. And so this one definitely looks to be one in which it's gonna push me definitely close to the limit of what I'm capable of doing with this game. And the first thing obviously I'm starting to think is, are we gonna really start to need to make some big boy customizations? And by that I'm talking about, for example, allowing Auron to break the damage limit. So get rid of like this guy that's been serving us really well, and maybe buy him like a 3 slot. As much as I hate to do it, like a 3 slot with break HP limit. Because obviously we've seen that Nova does quad 9, and doesn't seem like there's too much we can do to avoid it. Now, basically what I want to do, I literally I've been thinking about the fight since I last had it, just trying to think like what can we do. And the first thing I've started to think about is one of the major issues we had in the last attempt was that because it casts haste on itself, I dispelled the haste, kind of just thinking, yeah, that's the best way to move forward. But that also dispels the full break, which causes us a massive problem. And so I'm like, do I put Reflect on to Omega? And then if I do that, I need to put Reflect on myself, and then it turns into a whole different kind of strat. And that's the first element, and the second element is, how do I deal with Nova? Do I basically auto-life through it? If I do that, I'm going to have a mountain to climb to try and get my buffs back, because I think it seems like the kind of fight where just using full break is not enough. You need to have your protects on, you need to have like 5 times cheer, 5 times focus. There's a lot you need to do to make this fight work. And so overdrives feel particularly important in this one, getting those full overdrives. So I need to develop a good idea for what the best overdrive method is going to be. I feel like the Lights of Warrior are just not going to work that great, so I want to kind of go back in. I feel like this would be a good one where you have Comrade and triple overdrive. At this stage, I'm wondering if I should add triple overdrive to something like this. We're not going to get many of them, but maybe useful. Just thinking, who has the most useful overdrives? I think for Yuna, we're gonna have this. I'm trying to think, maybe I can summon an Aeon shield for Nova. And if I can do that and then keep my buffs, I feel like that would be a good way to do it. But it basically means I need to always have an overdrive at the ready. So let's give it a go. Let's get back into it and just start to feel things out once more. The goal is to get Omega done in this session, but
it seems we rate his personal attention now.
Since we rate his personal attention now, this time I might fail. So far, at least, basically every session I've had, I've made legitimate progress. I've beaten a boss, or I've got through, let's say, the Omega Ruins encounters, but this one I could spend the next 3-4 hours not getting anywhere, so we're just going to have to see. Okay. So at this stage, again, like, I don't want to use too much in the way of light curtains. I think it's one of the last ones I have left available to me. Get that full break in. And then this time we're just going to use Protect instead. And Riku will take more damage, so I'm hoping this will really charge her overdrive. Let's take a look. Slap comes in. Yeah, that was a nice one. So basically kind of charge Yuna's overdrive as much as possible and then already kind of get her out of there. So this should already basically give her a full overdrive, this little situation here. Tide is helping out with some of the white major duties as well. So yeah, Master Spark is coming next, and that's going to give us a whole bunch of breaks. But at the moment, at least, I feel like I'm going to try my best to kind of live with the breaks. As long as I've got all of my buffs on, then I have a chance of staying in the game. But I have to kind of make sure I don't get hit by petrification. Yeah, there's just a lot of healing in between turns as well, which is a big problem. She doesn't have alchemy, I kind of forgot. I'm so used to seeing 2,000 from those. I need to get a better handle on the damage here. Shell did not work. So I need to make a note of that. Master Spark. No shell. That's not good. Tide has survived by the skin of his teeth. Now she does have the full overdrive. What's coming next? Basically, this next turn is a freebie in terms of damage, if we can set up Reflect. So we can put Reflect on it. I kind of need to remember what these do in the customize menu so that I know whether I can start to sacrifice some of them in battle. Maybe it's not that important. So, like stuff like chocobo feathers, I feel like at this stage I should just start using them. So reflect on self. Let's see what happens here. Tetra Flare. Does it bounce it off itself? Yeah, so that ruins that whole scrap. Yeah, that was part of my like big master plan to try and put Reflect on it and then Reflect on myself, but Tetra Flare bounces off self. And while then we have to play the game of getting rid of haste, and the only way to do that is to also get rid of the brakes, I think. And I just don't have the MP to keep reapplying brakes. That's just, I don't think that's going to work. So yeah, it puts us between a rock and a hard place here. We're allowed 2 chocobo wings. This is why I'm starting to think more and more I just need like customization stuff. Yeah, at least it doesn't have haste on itself. And it will remain that way for a while. So I need to keep surviving in this fight for now. Core energy. I need to see how long the loop is before it starts to go back. 2,900, we can deal with that. For now, I think Himari could be a useful character for us. Let's just keep him in there. At least he can get some cheer in for us too. Wait, core energy dispels haste? Ugh. There's too many things going on here. That's why increasingly, as I say, I feel like I'm starting to need like auto abilities or something. I mean, does it dispel everything? You want me to fight without buffs? Is that what we're doing here? I don't know. Basically, we have a slap coming, and we need to survive that shit. So we're in like pure survival mode right now. I'm just trying my best to kind of find some kind of equilibrium where I can at least survive in the fight. And then we'll see if we can do anything to actually like improve our situation. How much does Cura do at this stage? Yeah. Okay. That's definitely looking better. So Slap comes in. Stoneproof. Start getting shell on. So next I believe it's Stone Breath based on the notes I made yesterday. I could be wrong. And I'm not sure Kimari has petrification protection here. So let's get him out of there.
So, how shall we do this?
Let's take a look. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. The Stone Breath. It's rough because basically, even if it doesn't petrify you, it puts you in slow. So that's just harsh, man. So you have a choice. I think either you got to get through this fight like spamming chocobo wings and stuff, or you got to find something else. I think after this it loops back to the slap, possibly. So that might be the end of the chain. Bring Kimari back. I don't know if that means we kind of need a Stone Breath team. We kind of bring in like a second set of guys to deal with that. For now, at least, we're still in pure survival mode, so we're just gonna do our best. And if we keep everybody alive, obviously, again, these cheers and focuses and stuff, we'll be able to keep them permanently, so that's the goal. I think we need to start making some moves of some kind here. Did we see the elemental affinity here? No. Yeah, I forgot. It's been so long since I put anything on there, so that's already killed me off, literally. Ah, Tetra Flare. Fine. So it did that before using Master Spark. I forgot how long the chain of moves is before it kind of resets. I need to find where that is. So potentially core energy here. No, Master Spark. Yeah, so in that sense it's kind of all over the place. I don't think it has a set amount of moves. Like normally, basically, when it starts to fight, it does Master Spark and then either Haste or Flare. Now it did Flare and then Master Spark, so it feels like there's definitely some variation in what it can do. Yeah, and so now we're going to have armor breaks in which we're probably going to get killed if we get slapped. Let's see. Okay. So let's try the Aeon blocking trick. This is still obviously one of the things I want to implement in a future strategy. So we're going to summon Anima for the first time. And we're going to see what kind of damage output we can get out of Anima. And we're going to see if Omega Weapon has any tricks to get rid of your Aeon before it uses Ultimate. I mean, it's definitely a trick that Karifean's been employing. We literally saw Dark Shiva use it. She had a banish move. And, well, I get it, of course. But hey, he's letting us summon for a reason, and a lot of the time it can still be helpful. So, we'll see what happens.
I will share your pain with you.
Getting a little bit cramped in here. Let's see what Oblivion can do. Obviously we're damage capped now, so is it 150,000 potentially free damage depending on how strong you are? Because it is armor broken, so let's see how much each hit does here. Maybe he's just nerfed the power level so that it's very hard to get it to do, say, quad 9 damage, even at 120 something strength. It's probably even higher now, honestly. I think it was 129 or something at one point. Let's see. Yeah. So this is not too surprising. He's obviously trying to keep it under control here. It's still a nice chunk of damage, but it's not like 2 or 3 times more than, say, what Ifrit or Shiva could do with their overdrives. So that's fair. Okay, good. So Aeon Shield is a go. And I think that's going to be a way for me to keep my buffs. But the question is, which buffs can I even keep here? Because like they're constantly being wiped away by stuff. Basically, it feels like outside of 5 times cheer and 5 times focus, I can't really have anything. So I think that's the problem. I think I want to get some kind of null ability in to get 5 times cheer and focus nice and quick. And then from there we'll kind of have to see. And obviously we have curse now. Of course we do. Yeah, so the 2 chocobo wings we kind of were allowed to use, they're gone now. And well, for us, we always kind of have to remember what was the move before. The Nova. Let's just... I think we got a bunch of cheers in already, but Kimari died before, so...
Well then, what next?
In case it is a slap. So I think Master Spark was the last one noted down. Core Energy. Yeah, really reducing the damage on that one. But Core Energy removes all of your buffs. So as I say, I think eventually it's just gonna come down to having 5 times focus, 5 times cheer, and then you kind of hope for the best. Let's see. And we need to make sure that Yuna doesn't stay in curse also. So for now we're kind of burning through stuff just to stay alive, but eventually we'll try and sort that out. So let's finally at long last do some actual damage. That's not a lot, is it? Okay. Right, let's see what happens here. Yeah, it's too clever for that, so there's no kind of reflect strats to be used here. So reflect is a bit of a no-go. And then the question becomes, how do we deal with breaking it once again? Because it's just a massive MP requirement to try and break it every time. It's immune to slow, so we can't just cast slow on it. So any kind of dispelling move I think is out of the question. Or was it Purifying Salts that didn't dispel the breaks or something? But I'm not going to use that every time. It's a bit much. Yeah, it feels like we have little choice but to dispel here. But I do think it's increasingly wise to create two teams for this fight. Let's get some full break back on. Yeah, only 9,000 damage from Auron there, despite his beefy strength. These guys have haste.
This is definitely bad.
Alright, let's see what we got. Yeah, Stone Breath. I can't track this at the moment. That's the big problem. Definitely surviving much longer though. So let's have a look at the gap between usage of stone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like there's only been 4 moves between it being used. How many is the gap between Master Sparks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's why I don't see where the loop begins really for this one. And obviously Auron constantly having his haste taken away is not good just because we're so damn slow, but 37,000 on a crit was kinda nice. No doubt. Yeah, so unfortunately I'm at the stage where I'm like, well, I don't know what's coming next. I mean, we've had Slap Master Spark, we've had Slap Stone Breath, we've had Stone Breath followed by Tetra Flare, we've had Stone Breath followed by Slap, we've had Slap followed by Master Spark, we've had Slap followed by Stone Breath. Like, if it's Master Spark, then we're kind of dead. Let's do this. It's Master Spark. It definitely... Wow, she died? Really? I thought Master Spark was more of a... I don't know what reduces the damage of Master Spark, honestly. Yeah, and Auron's slowness, again, is just making him really unusable here. Really unusable. Paste. Yeah, just too many. Paste. Okay. Yeah, I guess maybe now we're starting to get a pattern appear again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Does it possibly have a 10 move loop? I need to survive just that little bit longer, because if it is a 10 move loop, after this one it should use core energy, then another slap. So I think this attempt's over, but I want to just have a read on... At least knowing like which move's going to come next is such a huge part of this whole thing. So yes, core energy. Yeah. And then do we have a slap? Yes, we do. Wow, that's a big old loop. Freaking hell. Yeah, and this time we don't have any protection. So I think we've done well to kind of survive this far. But I think in terms of damage, we've not really made a massive dent. I want to see how quick Riku is to come back. She's going to be the one that's most likely, after a death, to get a turn in to be able to do something. So here comes Nova. Still hasted, by the way. That haste is an absolute problem. Like, that's a massive, massive problem. Okay. Riku makes a return. And then Stone Breath. Ultima. What? Isn't that a counter to gravity damage? Yeah, so surviving with auto life doesn't look to be a particularly good option either. So hold on. Used haste, then did Ultima. Yeah, that kind of threw me off a bit. So yeah, as you can see, a lot of work to do against this guy. This is feeling increasingly like one of those where I'm going to have to just stop commentating and just kind of knuckle down, because I've had like a few attempts at this stage. And at least a couple that have been more like 10-15 minute attempts. And I need to just kind of focus in. I feel like I've kind of seen all I need to see at this point, and it's more of a finding ways to deal with it. I think I can definitely put Reflect on it, but once I do that, then I basically lose the ability to attack it with magic. Unless I'm incredibly careful. Because it won't have anything to bounce haste off, but I'd have to deal with the flare. The Tetra Flare. And it seems incredibly difficult to survive a Tetra Flare. But basically I want to give it one more try like this one. With the knowledge that I have, and I think still there's a chance it's some kind of 10 move loop, with obviously some of them being more like choices. It's not like fixed that it's going to do that. So for example, the haste turn, I think it can do haste or it can do Tetra Flare. So I'm sure there's some turns like that, and we're going to see if we can find a way through. Just thinking who even is the best person to use here. I'm wondering again if maybe Auron is, but he's just so slow. Doesn't have the counter attack. I feel like it's a fight where maybe I have to increasingly rely on counterattacks to do the damage. What's his strength stat? 76, 85. His defense is only 39. Just doesn't feel like there's a lot of Sentinel opportunity here. Maybe one of these attacks that I think I can't Sentinel, maybe I can. Something like, I don't know. Surely you can't Sentinel Tetraflare, but maybe Core Energy you can Sentinel, and that stops people from losing buffs. And then maybe Auron doesn't kind of need buffs. The one good thing that we know at this stage is that we can at least save ourselves from Nova with an Aeon. Possible to do that. I'm increasingly leaning towards auto haste as well. Let me have a look at the customization again. It's been a while. Death, Doom, Zombie, Petrification. Maybe this is a fight to customize an energy preserver. Honestly. Also wonder if it's worth it to give Riku one of these at this stage. Try to make her some kind of ultimate weapon. Because still, I think her overdrive, like if I'm really in need and I really want to use the items, her overdrive is probably still one of the best to have. But it also feels like most of the good stuff, like the best stuff, she probably doesn't have access to. So, like, who has the most effective overdrives here? Lulu, of course, but for her, we've kind of already committed here. Well, technically she has an SOS overdrive here, but... yeah, this is the one that's really getting to me. I'm just like, what do we do with this one? This one just feels so important, like, even for example for Penance, thinking ahead. I have to imagine you're going to be dealing with all of the breaks. So having a character who doesn't have that problem would be kind of nice. Prevents Curse and all 4 breaks. Like, the Curse is nice, obviously, because the overdrive element... I feel like Yuna and her having something like that would be nice. So what does Yuna have right now? Okay, I'm starting to build a bit of a picture here. Some of the biggest problems we have are Petrification and Slow. Now, I believe I can... try and protect against... yeah. So, let's start with... basically for Riku, I still don't want to try and commit to like an ultimate and use auto haste and that kind of stuff, but one thing I can do is if I give her a slow proof here, then I think once she's hasted up, she will be potentially unaffected. So I think it's worth a try. We're going to do that. And then let me just have another look. For him, I'm going to do my best to kind of potentially swap stuff around. I think maybe the time has come for Kimari to also have something, but his HP is so low. Also going to check for Lulu here. Stone proof. She already has a Sense Preserver, so she can also go slow proof. So those are 2 things. And What else? I think poison proof kind of covers a whole bunch of stuff anyway. So at the moment, Lulu, just so I have a handle on who can protect, I think these three are kind of the, like, Lulu is really well protected here. So is Riku. She's going to get poisoned, but I think we can live with that. Tidus is not. Is there anyone else I can kind of make? I guess Waka if I really wanted to. Let's have a look at Waka. Just again, actually he's not as slow as he used to be. He's a bit quicker. Maybe it's worth it. Yeah, since these already have the stone proofs on there, I feel like it might be worth going for. Nah, can't make a poison proof though. Sense preservers are great and all, but it's just like I feel like I'm using up too many Albed potions at this stage. But maybe I should. I mean, does Waka ever really use black or white magic? He doesn't really, so I think dark proof. Or I go back and I buy some more poison proof. Or for that one, I just toss the Albed potion. Let me just remind myself what even heals. Poison is the one I always remember, but okay, it's poison, silence, and petrification. So it doesn't cure darkness. So let's maybe do that. So I think I'm going to create a new save after all of this, so I don't have to do all of this again. Evade encounter. Okay. I think Waka's in a better position now as well. Kimari's the one who's not. Auron's at the mercy of slow. And Yuna doesn't have the best options either. Yeah, for her we might have to kind of flip them around here. Okay. So I think that's what I'll do. This means I'm going to have to like re-skip all of this stuff, but that's fine. Because I did spend a fair bit of time kind of trying to set back up here. So at least this way I won't have to readjust also the ether and Phoenix down amount. So it's going to be a trek back to the save sphere. And then come back here, having triggered a new autosave. That's the plan. Oh, crap. Yeah. Still have first strike. Okay, so this time around I'm going to try and do things a little bit differently, perhaps. Luda and Riku are two of the best protected that we have here, so I'm going to try and see if I can work with that. Still going to keep it Comrade. It has so many attacks that hit everybody. It feels like the right thing to do. Let's go.
It seems we...
I think my main target for this particular attempt is to really see if I can kind of find the beginning and the end of the loop of turns. And if by just putting Reflect on Omega Weapon, can I at least stop it from hastening itself? Like, does it have any other tricks up its sleeve if I do that? Okay, here we go. Protect. Already do one of these. One focus. So, slap comes in. Yeah, this is a stage of the fight where already you kind of have to use a bunch of stuff to stay alive. So, Master Spark next. Poison, Dark, and Silence here. Yep. So here, our bed potion. I won't do this every time, but until I get a bit of a foothold here. Now, we've been hit with all the breaks, yes. And curse, of course. Now I need to put reflect on it. So it's either haste or flare next. Don't know which one. I should have put a bio on first. That's my bad. Focus is on. Yeah, so I think basically it just stops using Tetra Flare full stop. And at least we have an overdrive now. That's something. So now core energy is coming. Now I'm wondering, is this one where we can basically get Auron to tank it for us?
This is definitely bad.
Let's find out. So let's see if he can take a core energy here. Yes. So this helps everybody else kind of keep their buffs. Yeah, he took that like a champ. Okay, so that's some nice damage potential there. Next up, we've got another set of slaps. Just about. Now from here, it's Stone Breath. This is where, if it doesn't petrify you, it slows you. So this is where we have to be really careful. And make sure we have the right stuff. Yeah, so this is one where Riku should be fine. And we really need to just not like rely too much on items here. for healing, otherwise we're going to be in serious trouble. Yeah, it's just not a lot, is it?
Allow me.
Okay. So this is one where maybe Waka's a good candidate because he can protect against all of that stuff. Let's just use one here. Alright, I'm going to use the overdrive now. We don't want to get hit with the ultimate counter, so I feel like for this one, I kind of need to just bite the bullet and use Flare Fury. Even though I don't like using it, it's not particularly effective, but I think it might be better than these, possibly. I don't know. Yeah, only 4. It's just not great. Let's fire off one of these. Why not? Okay, so Stone Breath. Everything is kind of as expected so far. I think Lulu has the best chance of surviving the Tetra Flare here. Bringing in Yuna just to try and get an overdrive going here as well. Alright, let's see what happens. Yeah, it is Tetra Flare. So at least we're starting to get a handle on what moves we're seeing here. Okay, well survived, ladies. Great job. Excellent job, in fact. Now from here, apparently it's Master Spark. But what we're going to do, we're going to do this. And we're going to try and go on the attack a little bit, I think. Maybe do a bit of this first. Yeah, only 13,000 there, but so keep getting those buffs up. So I think it was Master Spark next. This. I think because it's kind of fixed damage, I'm feeling like I should be okay. Let's get some more in there. Oh, the Poison Strike worked. Nice. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, I would have liked her to be able to heal herself first, but... Let's just summon Anima anyway. Speed this up. So we're definitely having a better attempt here. And at least up until here, all of the moves are predictable. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 moves are predictable. So that's a good start. Alright. Is there any chance that Pain's better? But I don't know if Anima's damage capped. Let's see. Now I think after Anima is killed, I should have enough time, like Waka should have the next turn, I believe, because there's a pretty big CTB gap between Nova and the next move, and I imagine Nova's a bit slow. So this is the best attempt we've had so far, I think. We haven't done a huge amount of damage yet, but we're doing better. Especially for the slap turn, I think I really need to get some people out there, like Waka and Orin, because they're going to counter and hopefully do some nice damage. I think I'd basically get a double counter. That worked. But last time for the second overdrive I didn't have a full overdrive of my own, so I have to be very careful with Yuna. I think a lot of this hinges on keeping my buffs alive. Well, I'm at the mercy of getting something wrong with, like, let's say I don't realize that Stone Breath is coming and I don't have the right setup. So this is still like nowhere near like a winning attempt, but it shows promise. Master Spark next. And well, this should help. This should help with Yuna's overdrive. Might honestly be worth just keep going with Waka. Or maybe have him be like at least one guy who's... I think the extra damage from here is not worth it. I think I'd rather stick with this. It's safer for me. Alright, let's see if we can survive here. I'm going to pay close attention to the damage. It is Master Spark, so it's still moving in a predictable way at the moment. Yeah, it looks pretty fixed to me. I'm struggling to see how it could be different. Yeah, so they've got all of the breaks, but do they have their buffs? Pretty much. Now, Core Energy is coming next. Yeah, I should have kept Yuna out for extra help. At the moment, it doesn't feel like the worst idea in the world to leave Waka out there. The next thing I have on my list is Core Energy. Which I'm sure Orin can handle. So he should be able to survive. Yeah, it's just this cure is not strong enough. And basically, I really don't want to have to rely on too many Albed potions and like X potion, Mega potion, all of that stuff. Mari doesn't have Curaga. Just a lot of damage constantly coming in. Now, at least if I'm right here, I shouldn't need to heal on this set of turns. Yeah, it's just not a lot. Okay, let's do a Sentinel here and hope we're right. This could be a wipeout if I got this wrong. Yep, got it wrong. Oh, Yuna evaded it. So I had core energy written down. That's what it did last time, but this time we have a slap. See, that's what I mean. Like the preparation for each one is just too different. So I'm not sure how I'm supposed to deal with it. It's definitely different to what happened last time. This is one of the best ways to heal. So like now, I have Stone Breath written next. But if it's Tetra Flare, then I'm screwed. So it's hard to know what I'm dealing with here. Don't want to have to do this, but just to survive another turn. It was core energy. Maybe I missed a slap in between. Also possible. So maybe I didn't track correctly. So we have slap, or maybe it is Stone Breath next. Yeah, Waka kind of has a bit of everything going on here. Let's do this.
Well then, what next?
Yeah, the only thing about what I've been doing so far is I really have to give up on using magic as a result. Yeah, down to very little damage here. Tetra Flare. I'm not even looking at the screen right now. Okay. So full overdrive will take that. We will take that for now. Alright, now we keep Yuna safe until the overdrive. Waka's overdrive, I don't feel like it's going to be that useful right now, so I'm just going to press on. But at this stage again, I'm completely lost. Like, it could be anything. We've had Master Spark, Slap, Core Energy, Tetra Flare. Surely a slap's got to be coming again soon. Shall protect. Alright, Stone Breath. It's only going to be aura unaffected by this in terms of slow. It's fine. It's a shame, I think it's like a breath attack, it doesn't count as like a counter attack. Okay. So stone breath happened here. But this means that Waka can probably evade and counter the slap, so we'll keep him out. We will use the Chocobo Feather just to give Auron a chance here. I'm going to knuckle down here. I'm anticipating a slap. And I'm hoping for some counter attacks. This is kind of like the slap squad. These guys are probably some of the best to deal with some slaps. So I'm going to switch back to... I can't break the damage limit, there's no point. Now again, if I'm wrong, and there's something else, then I'd be in big trouble, but... Let's go. Yeah, it's a slap. Come on, counter attacks. I swear Yuna evaded a slap, you guys saw that, right? Either it has two different types of slaps, I don't know. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, Titus is the only one lacking haste at the moment. I was kind of hoping for those counter attacks, man. That cost me. Yeah, he doesn't have the break, so he might as well just do something, right? Get some bigger damage in. There you go. Nice chunky damage. Yeah, so now I have Master Spark showing up next, but how are my buffs doing at this stage? So many buffs and debuffs going on. She doesn't have Protect, but okay. Yeah, I think if it's Master Spark, Riku dies. That's the problem. I think for that reason, I will summon again, and I'm going to have my Aeon Shield deliberately attack here. Just to fill up the overdrive. Basically, we had the whole... I want to know if Bahamut can't break the damage limit still. Like in a weird way the elemental ones can and he can't. Or in unlocking the break damage limit for the elementals, it's kind of implied that he also gets that. Let's just see. One way to find out. No, he can't. Okay. It's good to know. So keeping myself in the game here. At this stage I'm slowly starting to kind of lean towards resource management being the bigger issue, where I just don't want to spam Mega Potions and Albed Potions and all that stuff. So there's all of my turns. Excellent. I think let's just get back to it. I'll take that damage. I want to kill two birds with one stone here. This is literally to kind of save me a turn. 21 feels like a big number. Like I have quite a lot of them. Because either that, and then I have to use this, and then like a Mega Potion or something, just to be absolutely sure. Because if it is Master Spark, I've not found a way to reduce the damage of that, and it's just like, if you don't have the HP, you're just going to die. Like there's kind of no two ways about it. So that's what I'm worried about. Screw it. I still don't know if this attempt is going to be a winning attempt anyway at this stage. Like, whatever. I'm going to attack again for more damage while I don't have the brakes on. It's been a nice chunk there. Yeah, just no one has like the HP to give me confidence here. Like Waka does, but we need an X potion for him. Let's just do it. Let's see what it's going to be. So it was Master Spark. It was right there. Okay. So next, I believe, could be Tetra Flare. Basically, it's another opportunity to get Yuna some overdrive. Yeah, for now, I'm going to use another Albed potion. Get rid of Waka's poison here. Do that. Just want to check who's got shell. Riku has shell too.
So, how shall we do this?
One more of these. Okay. So I believe all three of them have shell. Yep. Okay, I think I might have caught the next thing again. Perfect. Perfect. So it might be core energy next, if I've got it right. At this stage, I'm going to start trying to push a bit more for a win now, so we're going to start to use some more resources. I am going to put the scan in now. I need to see what's going on. Ah, but it's going to get bounced off. Shit. I still need to see it, so I'm going to leave Kimari in for that reason. I'm going to haste him up with the Chocobo Feather. The plan is to basically get him in, get the scan, and get right back out of there. Oh, it's a lot of MP for Reflect. I think she might be the only one who has it still. So this is kind of wasting a lot of turns here, but it's going to allow me to track the fight better. I'm just going to not take any risk. Sentinel, get the Reflect on. Bounce the scan. Hope that it's core, core energy. And if it is, we're in business. Okay, we're over halfway. Let's start. Yeah, I don't have a photo of this from last night, so I'm gonna put that in. Yes, that's right. So I think I've caught the loop once again. Oh, nice. Good crit. So now we kind of have to make sure we leave Kimari out of there. Okay, Waka is back in. Now I believe it's a slap coming next. Yeah, they all kind of lost their speed here. Let's do it. Does she have protect? She does. Hoping even with Shell, but she is magic broken, so it's not going to do very much. Yeah. See, it missed. But then evade and counter should work every time, no? It must be 2 different types of slaps. Fine. Okay, time to do some damage ahead of the next move. It's the stone move. Again, I would have loved for Riku to have a legit way to do some nice damage here, but she just doesn't. Again, I just don't want to get into tossing X potions on it. It just feels wrong. Yeah, this is where I'm definitely missing Ultima a little bit. Thinking again, what's the best way to get some damage? It's probably still these guys, honestly. 274,000. Good crit. Good crit. Alright, now we're going to bring in someone who can deal with this. Let me just double check. It should be the stone move next. Yep. Don't get slowed. She doesn't have haste though. Why doesn't she have haste? Must have been dispelled by something. Stone breath. Yeah, we're definitely caught. We caught things back up again here. Let's see. Does he have shell? I think all of his buffs are gone now, right? Bring Riku back in. Don't care at this stage. We're going to push for a win if we can. What we got? Try and boost up a little bit of overdrive here. I think if any of them get hit by 3, we just have to call that unlucky. I mean, they can't survive 3. Good stuff. Good stuff. Again, just a showcase of how quick Riku is here. Like the turns, just obviously she literally gets an extra turn there. Basically, I'm trying to give myself plenty of time before Master Spark happens, which I believe is the next move. We now have Energy Blast, so let's use it. Let's see how much damage we can get out of this. Blast. Although I think I might have screwed up. I just had a look at the CTB there, and I think the turns are not right. I think I might have screwed up. 55k was really nice damage, but I think we might be dead. This is such bad timing. If it was another move, I think literally any other move from his arsenal, I would have survived, including Tetra Flare. But I think Master Spark's going to kill me because I just can't reduce the damage enough from it. Shit. Basically, the other two overdrives that I faced, there was a big gap between Nova and the next one, but this one looked really tight on the CTB. So I think it's going to get another turn. Oh, it didn't. Okay. I think Nova just has enough of a delay that it always buys you some time. Woo! Okay. Let's go. Nice. In with a chance still here. I think we keep going. Those quad 9s in. Okay. She doesn't have a lot of HP. I think in order to just survive the raw damage here, let's just do this. At least I know if it is Master Spark and I'm right, Auron will survive. Take that. I've got to believe that Kuraga's going to heal enough here. I'm trying to conserve X potions at this stage. Mostly. Yeah. Okay. We take a chance with Kimari. Honestly, maybe we do, because if he dies, it's slightly less bad. Yeah, I might have gone a little too aggressive here. Just a shame Riku's HP is so low, otherwise a high potion would be enough, but... Yeah, evade and counter not really working for us. I'm going to do this and then toss a high potion and then hope we all survive. So this is where it gets a little bit shaky, but Master Spark was correct. See the damage. Yeah, it's still in that kind of... I think it has been reduced now. Maybe it was random variance, I don't know, but it definitely looks better. And then it should be Slap next. So I think still got to use the Owlbed Potion here. Okay, Waka looking better. I think we should kill this guy before the next overdrive at this stage. So I think we need to kind of start to really go. So core is next. Yeah, this one we're unable to... yeah, someone's going to lose their buffs. What's the best way to tackle this? I've basically been able to sentinel every time, but this is the first time I've not had one. And these guys... Basically someone's going to definitely die. Kimari's the one that's at the least risk, probably. Alright, let's just see what happens here. Trusting that maybe there's a chance. Lulu bosses it. Oh, it was a slap. It was a slap. Oh my god. Sheesh. Was that a double slap? Was that a double slap? Yikes. Whatever that was, it was nasty. Still here. Still here. Yeah, it's just we're really struggling for healing at this stage. But we are going to get a couple more overdrives, potentially. There's no way it's another slap next. Poor energy. Yeah, I think I missed the slap. Damn it. Okay, well defended. So now I believe it's Tetraflare. Hold on. I do have a couple of Chocobo wings to spare here. It almost doesn't really change anything nearly, but I think in the long run it could be helpful. Okay. I think I got to utilize this chance to do max damage. Yeah. I think because it could help push her to an overdrive, we're going to keep Lulu in here. So hopefully if I'm back on track with stuff, it should be a Tetraflare, I believe, and then a Stone Breath. So relying a bit on Auron's big HP here. Tetraflare, okay. Wow, okay, that's a lot more than I thought. Fine, we'll take that, honestly. That's not a bad result. Not a bad result at all. And I think we're heading towards a win here. $67,000. Okay. So yeah, just attackingly, I'm not sure she has a particularly great overdrive. I'd rather mix some kind of Mighty G right now. Let me have a look at this. We can mix two distillers together, actually, if we have them. Honestly, maybe it's worth just going hard and attacking here. Yeah, Auron's going to be kind of slowed either way, so... She also hasn't been magic broken. So I think maybe it's a good idea. Let's double check. Yeah. So after this, let's have a look. So far down. At least this gets me another turn. But then I can't double cast. Yeah, Flare Fury kind of let me down a bit last time, but let's just do this in case I'm wrong. It should be Stone Breath, but just in case I'm wrong. I don't want to throw it away here. It's worth it for one Albed Potion to not throw the fight. Okay, it is Stone Breath. Now, from here, we're going to have some poison damage helping us out as well. And I think we should be able to bring it home. So, Tidus. And I think we can even do it without an overdrive. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah, we're going to need an overdrive. That's fine. Does he have his brakes? He doesn't. So maybe we can.
So, how shall we do this?
We are not going to try and finish this with a Kimari Flare. that would kind of go wrong. So now we can safely use Flare Fury. And beat Omega Weapon. Woo. That kind of happened a bit sooner than I thought, honestly. But keeping it in Reflect the whole time was definitely already a big part of it. And being able to get those summon shields for Nova was huge. So there it is. The mighty Omega Weapon defeated in the Masters mod. Let's go. Now, what do we get?
Find your peace on the far plane. Leave Spira to the living.
Is the question. Yeah, 65,000 again. Morphing Mog. Okay. 15 Dark Matters and 5 Gambler Spirits. Let's have a quick look at this. Yeah, I don't know about that. I've been getting too many weapons. And these fights are so hard that it's like I don't want to try and go back in and win them again. Like, I feel bad just kind of being like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to kind of use Farplane to get a quick win. I think that's not fair. But we can apparently get Ribbon. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That's massive. And what do Gambler Spirits do? What? I guess he probably wants you to use them as a mix. Honestly, like Hyper Mighty G and that kind of thing. That must be why. Okay, so what we can do is now we can also run back to the chest. I wonder if it's a chest full of money. That would be kind of interesting. So yeah, really tough fight. But I'm very glad that I made it through. And it was one of those where we did use everybody fairly legitimately. The only thing that I'm obviously not thrilled about is the amount of resources I use for it. But honestly, Phoenix Downs, at least we didn't use many. X Potions, I think we used like 6. I think it was like 2 Mega Potions or 3. And that was kind of it. We didn't use any Mega Potions, which is nice. And of course, Albed Potions did get used. I think I used like 7 or 8. But honestly, it could have been way worse considering what we managed to do, I think it's a fair trade for a first win against Omega Weapon. I didn't activate the save, but here, once you've defeated Omega, you can make the run back, thankfully. Safely. Yeah, very curious what's in this chest. I feel like the equipment drops haven't been that great because we've just got too many weapons. Like, we got literally, like, this. We got... What did we get? We got this from Omega Weapon. It's like... I don't know about that. What else did we get? Yeah, we got this. So I feel like we've been a bit unlucky with these drops. Honestly. Now, Dark Yojimbo could be... And we got one of these. Dark Yojimbo could be an interesting one because we get to fight him repeatedly. So if I can beat him, he might be one that's kind of worth farming a little bit. I don't know. Oh, huge. Huge. Okay, let's head back to the save sphere and have a good old think about this, because now we have a few options at our disposal. Dark Bahamut, Dark Yojimbo, Dark Magasisters, Dark Anima. But that means that there's only 5 battles left before you complete this mod. Doesn't sound like much when you put it like that, but they're going to be 5 seriously hardcore. Well, Yojimbo, I guess he's 5 battles in and of himself, so more like 10. Closer to 10, 9. But we're getting there. Okay, my friends, I'm wrapping it up for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you are continuing to enjoy the series. Please remember to hit the like button if you haven't already. I will see you for the next one. Thank you for watching. Take care.